Hello everyone, this is part 1 of What If Naruto Was Exiled After He Brought Sasuke Back. This story is made by eroslackermicha, and I hope you guys enjoy this video and to like, to subscribe, to share, and check out the playlist, to see more comment down below. Now let's start the intro.
They call me a god. They call me a god. They call me a god.
Join my membership, the perks are great. It's in the description. Be sure to like and subscribe, it gives me more motivation. Enjoy. Uzumaki Naruto. The elder said, looking down from her seat amongst the council at the blonde genin. You are hereby exiled from Konoha for attacking a fellow shinobi of the leaf. What? Naruto exclaimed. Who? He demanded. Your attack on Uchiha Sasuke. I was ordered to bring him back. The bastard attacked me, the blonde teen yelled. Your orders were to rescue Sasuke from the clutches of Orochimaru, not leave him in a coma. Another council elder said, looking at the blonde with disdain. I fought him to defend myself and bring him back. He rammed a Chidori into my chest, and if it weren't for my tenant I would have died, and the bastard Uchiha you all worship would have continued to go to the snake team. Naruto countered. Preposterous. Sasuke Uchiha would never join Orochimaru of his own free will. You must have driven him to it, demon. Another elder spoke up. And you're an idiot. Naruto shot back. Where's the Sunday? He asked. The Hokage washed her hands of you, demon. The counselor said with disdain. That was a lie. They had Tsunade banned from this meeting, knowing she would stick up for the demon container. This was their chance. While she was dealing with the injured squad that had been part of the retrieval, they were going to get rid of the demon. You were banished from Konoha, and should you set foot in it again you will be executed by order of the Hokage. A council elder said and tossed Naruto a scroll. He read it and saw Tsunade's name, forged, and that of the village elders. His head lowered and knew that was that. Sakura's words still vibrated through his mind. Look what you did to Sasuke-kun. I hate you, Naruto. Why didn't you die? No one cares. Just go away, demon. You will be escorted beyond Konoha's borders. ANBU. A pair of ANBU root members appeared. Take this, trash, and escort him from our borders. He is not to be harmed unless he sets foot back. The white-masked ninja grabbed Naruto's arms. We give you half an hour to gather your possessions from your home. Naruto remained silent. His once shining blue eyes were dim and his face emotionless. Do you understand, Uzumaki? Yeah. His once loud and boisterous voice was flat and s. The roots ANBU vanished with him in a swirl. The council looked at one another in joy. They did it. They might not have been able to execute him, but exile was a start. Naruto looked around his shabby hovel that was his apartment. He packed some clothes, his ninja gear, a couple of photos, and then looked at his fridge. The food had gone bad, not that there was much to begin with. He filled several bottles with water and stored them in a scroll. He stored the rest of his things in another scroll and turned and dropped the key on the counter, looked at the faceless ANBU who stood by the doors. There's nothing here for me, there never was, he thought, heading for the door. I'm done, he said in the same voice. The ANBU grabbed him and they vanished once more in a twirl of leaves. They appeared at the gates and Naruto, without prompting, was walking out the gates. Naruto ne-san. He kept walking, his head down, his posture slumped. Boss. Another voice called out. Naruto sighed and turned to see Konohamaru, Udon and Mogi running towards him. He looked at them sadly. This would be the last time he got to see them. Hey guys, he said, his voice still flat. Ne-san, you got another kick-ass mission? Konohamaru asked. No, Naruto said. I've been exiled. What? 3 voices rang out. You can't go. Konohamaru said. You're supposed to be my rival. Sorry, Konohamaru. The Hokage and the council exiled me for attacking their precious Uchiha. Naruto said. He reached up and untied his high-tie 8. Could you give this to Iruka for me, Konohamaru? I won't need it anymore. He then held the N-lace from his N and gave it to Konohamaru. And return that to the Hokage. I'm not precious to her, and she'd want her grandfather's N-lace back and not around the N of someone like me. By this the 3 youths were crying and Mogi was hugging him around the waist, tightly sobbing. Don't go, please. I have to. If I don't, the ANBU here are ordered to execute me. Konohamaru sobbed as he hugged the blonde he thought of not only as his rival, sensei, but his big brother and friend. It's up to you now to become Hokage, Konohamaru. Make the old man proud. Konohamaru rubbed his eyes with the back of his hand. I'll become Hokage Ne-san. And I swear I'll make you proud of me. I already am Konohamaru. You'll be great someday. The will of fire will live on in you. Konohamaru cried more hearing his grandfather's words from Naruto's mouth. Naruto noticed the ANBU shifting and knew he had to get going. Goodbye you three. Take care, stick with Iruka. He said, touching Mogi and Udon on their heads above the goggles, and then he pulled Konohamaru into a one-armed hug. Naruto walked through the gates of Konoha, leaving behind 3 academy students, one holding a headband and endlace with tears coming down his face. They traveled for hours using the trees. Naruto and the ANBU silent, nothing was disturbed in their passing. They were nearly to the border when the ANBU attacked. Danzo orders your death demon. The first one said. Your body will be studied and secrets used for cloning. The second one said. The kunai in his shoulder left him in pain. It was in a place he couldn't reach. Bastards espered me in the back, why am I surprised? Naruto thought, backing up. He struggled to his feet and put his right hand up in a defensive position. Danzo will reward us well for King you demon. Idiots. The one on the left lunged and Naruto ducked and kicked out, taking the ANBU's legs out with a hard kick to the leg, and a loud snap was heard. The ANBU screamed. The other one caught Naruto with a swipe of his kunai. Aghhhhh. Naruto looked at his arm and saw the cut was deep. Naruto staggered back as the kunai in his back was throbbing and the wound he just received was as well. Poison, he muttered. Sadly no, it is a paralyzing agent. It will make King you easier and leave your body less damaged. The ANBU spoke. Oh, good. Means I get to KO you without worrying about him dying. All 3 looked over to a figure standing by a tree. He was wearing blue ninja pants, a mesh shirt and a black leather coat. Long silver hair was covered by a bandana and gloved hands were at the young man's side. A pair of gold eyes looked back at the ANBU. Now, why are you trying to KO my friend? Konohamaru. Naruto said, his voice sluggish and his limbs felt like they were lead. Hey, Ruto. The silver-haired youth said, his eyes going back to the ANBU. Be with you in a moment, I have some Konoha trash to K. Before the ANBU could move he felt something his arm. What was that? He asked, looking around. I'm a wind elemental. Add in my Kekkei Genkai and you're boned B. Whak. The ANBU screamed as his very own blood burned him from the inside out. Melwasu Kekkei Genkai, flash fry. Naruto watched as the ANBU fell to the ground, his eyes wide in pain and fright. Micha, Naruto said weakly, the paralyzing toxin was kicking in and he found it hard to focus. One more. Konohamaru said, and his right arm lashed out and the ANBU on the ground felt something wrap around him. Melwasu assassination technique, MONOWIRE decapitation. The ANBU's head popped off and the body was SD as if it was meat. Damn Micha, you've gotten meaner. Naruto said weakly as the silver-haired youth approached him. And you've gotten sloppy. Micha said, lowering Naruto to the ground and pulled the kunai from his back. What happened? I've been exiled. Naruto said, his mouth moving heavily, his tongue feeling like lead in his mouth. Hold still. This will hurt, but I should be able to burn the toxin from your blood. We can't stay here long enough for it to wear off. HN. Naruto said and braced himself. Bite down on this. Konohamaru said, offering him a kunai handle. Naruto did and he screamed as his blood burned as Micha focused his power. A moment later it was done. Why, you've gotten better. Naruto panted, the kunai falling from his mouth. Come on. We'll talk away from here. Micha said, and helping Naruto to his feet they took to the trees, leaving the remains of the ANBU on the forest floor. Hours later Micha and Naruto were resting by a stream. Those. Micha, who had listened to Naruto's life since they'd last seen one another, was not enraged at what he'd learned. Micha took several deep breaths and sighed. Well then, looks like you can come with me then without looking back. What? Naruto said in surprise. Didn't you hear me when I said I contain the 9-tailed fox in my gut? I heard you. And we're going to get you some heavy-duty training, not the half-assed piecemeal training you've been given. Micha sipped some water and looked at his friend. I'm sorry for leaving you all those years ago. If I'd been there. You had to get your Kekkei Genkai under control. Naruto said, waving him off. The old man explained it to me that if you hadn't it would have killed you and all those around you. Naruto said, then looked at him. But that wine thing. Micha laughed. Another bloodline actually. It seems my mother was actually a wind demon. It's like that guy in Suna, where he's got sand, I've got wind, and the great thing is there is air all around, so I don't have to carry a fan to make it. They were silent for a bit until Naruto spoke. What are we going to do? Well, we're going to travel for several days and I'm taking you to see the monk who helped me. He's wise beyond the years and as strong as a Hokage. What can he do for me? Naruto asked. Well, he should be able to help you draw on and control the powers of the fox. It will take time and hard work, Naruto, but when he's done with you, trust me when I say you will be the strongest ninja ever. The pair remained that way for the night. Back in Konoha, Tsunade glared at the scroll on her desk. Those arrogant assholes. How dare they? She raged in her mind. Currently the council was in a session with Ibiki for treason for what they'd done. She swore again as her eyes fell on the Enlace and Hitai 8 on her desk. She'd been surprised when Konohamaru stormed into her office yelling at her. Flashback. The door to the office exploded inwards and Tsunade came to her feet and was surprised to see Konohamaru standing on the unconscious body of the Junins that had been guarding the door. How could you? He thought you cared. Konohamaru raged, storming into the office followed by his two teammates. What the hell are you talking about, brat? Tsunade demanded, waving Shizune off. Don't give me that. You signed it along with the rest of those old bastards of the council. He thought of you as an aunt or even a mother, and you betrayed him. Konohamaru snarled, tossing a scroll at her. After all Ne-san did for this village, he brought you back here and you exile him. Tsunade looked at the young academy student in shock. She unrolled the scroll and read the order and was shocked to see her name on there. Those bastards. Those fing old bastards. She slammed the scroll down. Shizune. Get Ibiki and Anko here now along with a full squad of ANBU, make sure none of them are aligned with Danzo. Tsunade looked at the scroll with the exile order in rage. Her eyes looked up to see Konohamaru. I did not sign this, Konohamaru, I swear. She watched as the young man glared at her. I swear on my forefathers that I did not sign this. I promise, I will take care of this. Konohamaru-kun, give her what Naruto Ne-san gave you. Mogi said. Konohamaru still didn't believe the Hokage, but pulled out the Hitai 8 and Enlace, dropping them on the desk. Naruto was my friend, he was the first person to see me as Konohamaru, not honorable grandson. He treated me as an equal and I swear, old lady, I swear I will become Hokage and show this village what happens to those who betray their heroes. Konohamaru spun and stormed out, followed by Udon and Mogi. Tsunade was in shock. Her little brother had been exiled and thought she had been part of it. Jiraiya. She screamed. She needed her old teammate to find the blonde and bring him back. She was soon joined by Ibiki and Anko, and along with Shizune she told them what had happened and what they were going to do. End flashback. She'd had the entire council arrested and Danzo was on the run along with his Roots agents. She looked up, hearing a sound, and Jiraiya was slipping in through the window. Where is he? Did you find him? She demanded. No. I found two ANBU root members near the border. It looked like they tried to kill Naruto. I found a kunai with his blood on it. Jiraiya said. He killed them in self-defense. Good. Nay, they weren't killed by Naruto. One was burned from the inside out, as if his blood had been set on fire. The other was SD like ham steak. Jiraiya said. Someone helped Naruto, but I lost their trail in the trees. Tsunade swore. Damn the council. She looked at her old teammate. He's out there, Jiraiya, he's out there and he thinks we all hate him. Heard what the Haruno said then, did you? He asked. Yes. I tore into her and demoted her. I was thinking of making her my new apprentice for Naruto, but after hearing how she treated him, I trashed that idea. Jiraiya pulled her into a hug. We'll find him, Haim. I swear we will. Naruto looked from the hidden mountaintop. He could see the surrounding area for miles in all directions. The mountain was on the border of several lands and it had confused him that it had been hidden. Mikahamaru explained it to him when he uttered his amazement. It's a powerful jutsu. The mountain is time-skipped. The only way to access it is by using the hand signs you saw me make. Otherwise you'll pass on through it as if it weren't there. It had been days since his exile from Konoha, the Leaf Village, and during that time traveling further and further away, Micha had taught Naruto proper chakra control exercises and meditation in order to control his and the Kyuubi's chakra better. The problem is you were learning a ninja's way of controlling their chakra. You have the fox's chakra mixed with your own through your whole body. The normal exercises won't work for you properly. He taught Naruto how to focus and explained to him and showed him some basic SKS that he told Naruto that Master Quai had showed him when he first was sent to the Shaolin priest. Naruto admitted that after a day he felt different. Of course you do. It's like night and day. Once you learn the proper ways to mold your chakra, you'll find that everything else will fall into line and you'll have control that will put the Sannin to shame. Naruto explained to Micha at night how he felt different. It's like, I'm calmer, at peace with the world around me. I also feel the fox. Naruto said, scratching the back of his head. Naruto, you feel the fox, but do you really feel it? Micha asked. Feel what? Naruto asked, confused and looking at his silver-haired friend. Mikahamaru sighed. Have you ever talked with the Kyuubi? He asked, his voice soft, his eyes looking off to the horizon. Once, Naruto admitted. He saw his friend's questioning gaze and explained. It was Ero-Sannin was teaching me to summon. He tossed me off the cliff and I don't know, crawled in my own mind or something and told the fox to give me rent. I came out of my head and summoned the boss toad. Mikahamaru shook his head. We really are going to be talking about your senseis? The silver-haired teen muttered and Naruto blinked, wondering what he meant about that, and the tone in his friend's voice. Nani? Later Naruto. Please just wait till you speak with Master Quai. He'll explain it so much better than I ever could. I don't want to say it the wrong way and confuse or frighten you. Micha sighed. Please, for now just work on the meditation exercises I showed you earlier. Naruto nodded. And if you should talk to the Kyuubi again, before we see Master Quai, please be respectful. What? The damn fox. Just do it. Micha yelled, cutting off whatever insult Naruto was going to say. Naruto blinked. Micha had never raised his voice to him in the past, before he'd left Konoha. Micha sighed, seeing Naruto's expression. I'm sorry Naruto. I didn't mean to yell. Just please trust me. I swear on a mountain of Ichiraku ramen that all will be clear once we talk with Master Quai. Naruto nodded after a moment. Swearing on ramen between them was very big. It was sacred. It was what the two of them had bonded over when they met at the orphanage all those years ago. Now, Mikahamaru said, sitting down across from Naruto, both of them taking a meditative lotus position. Close your eyes, Micha said, and Naruto mirrored him, shutting his own eyes. Calm your mind, focus on your breathing. Breath in and hold. Naruto took a slow breath and did just as he was told. Breath out, remember to release it slowly and relax. Micha reminded him. They did this for some time, just breathing in, holding it and releasing it. After a bit of time, Naruto found himself relaxing. Tension flowed from his muscles and out of him. He allowed his mind to focus on his breathing, and as he relaxed he could feel his senses sharpening, becoming clearer. He could smell the coming storm that was miles away from the mountain. He could smell the earth and stone beneath him. Naruto could smell the surrounding trees, the leaves, the bark, the sap. He could smell the rabbits in the nearby bushes. His enhanced hearing, he could hear the rabbit's heartbeat. The surrounding leaves from the trees sounded loud as they were lightly blown in the breeze. He could hear Micha's slow, steady breaths along with his friend's heartbeat. It was strong and steady. Focusing himself inward, he could hear his own heartbeat start to become in sync with Micha's. He focused further in and could feel the two different chakra in his body. He could feel it flow through all the parts of his body, both his chakra and the Kyuubi's. The fox's chakra, if Naruto was asked to describe it, he would say it felt wild. He swore it smelled of earth, of fire, of wind and water. It felt strong, and when it flowed through his chakra coils with his own, it felt liberating, as if it was the right thing to do. He traced it through his body to the seal, and his mind followed the seal's design. Deeper and deeper he went into his subconscious. He followed the chakra flow, his breathing slowing and his heartbeat relaxing. He was lost in the sensations and jumped when a familiar voice addressed him. Welcome back, brat. Meanwhile, Konoha. Tsunade stood in the council chamber, her eyes focusing on the gathered council. Behind each member was a masked ANBU standing guard. Around the rest of the chamber sat the leaders of 10 of the 12 great clans of Konoha. What is the meaning of this, Tsunade? Azu, One of the council members demands. You had us dragged from our homes and kept in cells below the tower for several days. Hamada, another member, speaks up. You overstep your authority, Tsunade. Nozomu, a third member, sneers. Tsunade locks eyes with each of them. I overstep my authority, she repeated. Her hands tightened at her sides, and everyone in the room could hear the tightening and cracking of knuckles. You all are trying to play innocent and think that I am stupid. Did any of you not think I wouldn't find out what you did? We have no idea what you're rambling about, Tsunade. Perhaps you've hit the sake too much in recent days. Tsuda sneered. Tsunade narrowed her eyes. I am speaking of you idiots forging my signature and exiling Uzumaki Naruto. You could hear a pin drop in the council room. You are charged with treason. It is punishable by death forging the Hokage's signature, and by what right did you morons think you could exile my little brother? Now Tsunade, Tsuda tries to reason, but her fist connecting with his jaw sends the council member crashing through the chamber wall and into the waiting room beyond that is filled with ANBU. That's Lady Hokage to you morons, she says, turning to look at the rest of the council. You stupid fools actually thought you'd get away with it. Naruto Uzumaki has done everything for this village, from containing the Kyuubi since his birth to defeating Gaara of Suna during the Chunin exams, to bringing me back here and convincing me to be Hokage. I'm wondering why he bothered. This village is showing me that it's not worth the price Naruto has paid. Tsunade looked around the chamber, disgust on her face. I hereby charge this council with treason, the sentence is death. Murmurs from the rest in the room is heard. ANBU leave. The animal masked nin vanish. Tsunade looks at the clan leaders. I suggest you all leave as well. Once they were through the door, Tsunade looked at the council. I thought long and hard about how to go about your execution. It was one person, a genin, who gave me an idea. Tsunade looked over her shoulder as the doors opened one more time. A small figure wearing black robes and a hood entered slowly, hands hidden by oversized sleeves that were folded together before the figure. I was going through the scrolls the third had left me, when I found one. I was going to use it myself. I was about to sign it with my blood to activate it, when the genin there asked to do it. I hesitated, and in that I was beaten. Now I present to you, Uzumaki's revenge, I give you your executioner. The hood slipped back, revealing dark blue hair, pale white eyes focused with the veins of the Byakugan. The slender features of Hyuga Hinata stared back and her eyes burned with raw anger and hatred. When she spoke, it wasn't the voice that the council had heard before. The voice was hollow, cold. Your souls are stained with corruption. Hinata spoke, but it wasn't her. Tsunade put a hand on the girl's shoulders. Hinata is the first nin since Kushina Uzumaki to host the Spirit of Vengeance, she said. Hinata's hair moved as if blown by a breeze and the black robes whipped around her as she advanced on the council. You have been weighed. Several more steps brought her closer to the trapped council. In the light they could see her skin was nearly bone white now. Her Byakugan eyes went from white to black. You have been measured. She reached the first member of the council and her gentle fist style connected, and the counselor behind the first was covered with gore as the vengeance spirit enhanced blow blew a hole through the chest of the council member. And you have been found lacking, the cold spirit-possessed voice of Hinata said, and another council member fell after a flurry of gentle fist strikes that normally would have shut down the numerous chakra points in a body was instead blowing holes in bodies. Tsunade stood before the door, and any council member that rushed at her to escape met with her chakra-powered punch that sent them flying towards the spirit-possessed Hinata, who with a Jukan strike would blow holes in them. Tsuda, who was trying to escape out the waiting room he'd landed in, turned to see a blood-covered Hyuga. You exiled him, and all he did was the right thing. My host may have trouble speaking her heart, but the boy has been marked by fate and destiny. You have denied them, and for that you will pay. As the spirit of vengeance, I will do what I can to repair the threads of destiny. You however will no longer witness them. The Jukan blow to the head obliterated Tsuda's head as if it wasn't there. 8 trigrams, 2 palms, 4 palms, 8 palms, 16 palms, 32 palms. The spirit of vengeance possessed Hyuga looked at the body of Tsuda that looked like Swiss cheese. 8 trigrams, 60 four palms. The last blows rained down and the body was now so much sludge as it slid to the floor. Tsunade sighed. She lied to the council. When she'd come back to her office after meeting with the Jonin instructors, she'd found Hinata standing amidst the remains of the safe. She was applying her blood to the scroll. Flashback. Tsunade stepped over the unconscious bodies of her guard and entered her office to see Shizune tied to a chair unconscious. Tsunade turned to see Hinata standing amidst the remains of the vault, scroll in hand. What is the meaning of this? Tsunade demanded. Hinata looked up, her eyes wide. She seemed to shrink upon herself, then as if mentally bracing she looked at the angry Hokage before her. They must pay for what they did to Naruto K-kun. Tsunade looked at the genin. They will be executed. No. Hinata yelled. All his life, the Sea Council has gone out of its way to hurt and hinder Naruto-kun. When you told us they exiled him. Tsunade saw tears in the young girl's eyes. It took her restraint not to go to the girl that seemed to care for her adopted little brother. Hinata. No. I remember my mother speaking about a sealed scroll that was here. It contains a vengeance spirit. I will do what I must for Naruto. If they will be punished, I will do it. Tsunade watched as Hinata broke the seal and after reading it, bit her thumb and a drop of blood touched the scroll. A flash of white light enveloped the Hyuga heiress and a shockwave knocked Tsunade off her feet. When she looked up, Hinata stood there. Free. The cold hollow voice said. The girl's head seethed to the side as if listening to a conversation only she could hear. Conditions accepted. Vengeance will be served. Tsunade felt the chill run up her spine. What will this cost us? She thought as a shadow formed a cloak around the Hyuga girl. And what will this mean for Naruto, who didn't even know she cared? End flashback. Vengeance has been served. The cold voice said, and Tsunade found the girl standing before her. Remind the girl when she awakens of our deal. What deal? Tsunade demanded of the vengeance spirit. I wish to meet her chosen. For once secure to offer me freedom to walk the land in the face of evil, I am intrigued. Fear not, Hokage. My lot in existence is to serve. I return to the scroll when my host dies. The Hyuga had a grin on her face at that. But that will be as hard as king a demon or a Hanyu. Till I am needed, peace, Hokage of the Leaf. Tsunade watched as the girl seemed to shimmer and as color returned to her skin, her eyes returned to the white eyes of the Hyuga, the cloak dissolved around her leaving her in her clothes. Did I do it? Hinata asked as she slumped to the floor unconscious. Tsunade looked at the remains of the council and knew they would need some mops and sponges to get the remains off the floor and walls. Yeah, you did fine. Tsunade said, picking her up and carrying her from the chamber of death as it would be called in Konoha after this day. The sun was rising and Naruto looked to Mikahamaru. Now why couldn't we find this sensei of yours yesterday? The blonde Jinchuriki asked. He was in the village at the base of the mountain. It was Tuesday, he plays shogi on Tuesday. Naruto face planted to the ground hearing that. What? Mikahamaru laughed at his friend's yell. Calm down. He'll be back in a bit. Micha sighed and looked at Naruto. Since yesterday, the blonde was a bundle of nervous energy. He told Mikahamaru of his meeting with the Kyuubi. Flashback. Welcome back, brat. Naruto spun around and realized he'd drifted into the back of his own mind in meditation. What the hell? You act like you don't want to see me. I'm crushed. The pair of glowing red eyes glared down at Naruto from behind the cage and seal. Maybe because I don't want to see you, fuzzball. Naruto said. So insolent. You know who I am, and you still act like a hairless monkey your ancestors are descended from. The Kyuubi said. Naruto realized that this was different than the last time. The Kyuubi was acting different. Confused brat. Naruto could tell the Kyuubi was actually laughing at him, but he remembered Micha's warning. Please, be respectful. And Naruto bit back the dozen of taunts that he could hurl. He settled for nodding. You're not as stupid as I first feared. The Kyuubi admitted. Movement could be heard and Naruto that the Kyuubi was laying down in the cage. Slowly he walked towards it and stopped before the bars. No threats, no promises of death, Naruto asked confused. A snort from behind the bars and in the shadows was heard. No Kit. I woke up cranky and was still confused from the genjutsu I had been under when I attacked the Leaf Village. A deep sigh could be heard and Naruto leaned against the bars. Before that, I knew Minato. He was honorable, respected in the realm of summons. Even while I struggled to break the spell on me, he delayed as long as he could before he pulled out calling upon the Shinigami. Naruto could hear the sadness in the fox demon's voice. Did you know even when he was sealing me, and putting my spirit into hibernation, he apologized. To not only you for what he was doing, but to me as well. He wept. Q-san? Naruto asked, not sure if the honorific was correct. He barely used them on people like Oji-san and he'd been the third Hokage. What Kit? Why are you acting different? Silence filled the cage and Naruto was thinking of asking again when the Kyuubi spoke. I'm old Kit. I've seen civilizations rise and fall. I've seen the birth and extinction of races. I'm never going to have a family of my own. My body was destroyed when I was sealed inside you. Naruto listened as Micha suggested he do. He wasn't sure what to say anyways and so he listened. When I woke up during your mission when you thought your teammate had been killed, I wasn't fully awake. When you showed up demanding chakra I still wasn't fully awake. The nine-tailed fox demon explained. And like some people, I woke up cranky. It took me time to regain my full memories and look upon yours. When that child who stank of snakes rammed that lighting attack into your chest, Kyuubi sighed. I felt fear for the first time in a millennia. You thought you were going to die. Naruto said. No Kit, it wasn't for me I felt fear. It was for you. During your battle you did something that hasn't been seen in a long time. Your friend with you now has the same potential. I saw that potential nearly wasted for a spoiled child having a delusion of grandeur. Naruto wasn't sure what to say. I'm tired Kit. I'm using a lot of my own energy to rebuild your body. Your poor diet has stunted your growth. You should be as tall as your friend who smells of blood and wind. How do you know what Micha smells like? Naruto asked. A chuckle from the cell and Naruto sees the Kyuubi's eyes lock on him. I can't control you Kit, but I can enhance your senses and see what you see, know what you know. The seal works both ways. You get my chakra, and you were supposed to be able to tap into my knowledge, but that time passed. What do you mean? Naruto asked. Another sigh, gee the great fox demon does that a lot it seems, while I slept, you were supposed to know what I know. My vast knowledge of jutsus was supposed to be absorbed by you. Naruto shrugged. Don't look at me. The only one I think who would know would be Oji-san, but he's Essen now, I'm exiled from Konoha and I doubt Aba-chan or Ero-sanin would give that kind of information to me. Kyuubi said. Hey Kit. Yeah. Naruto answered. Your friend. The silver-haired one. Mikahamaru. What about him? Naruto asked. Ask him why he smells of dragons. The Kyuubi asked. Naruto was confused but felt himself leaving his mind. He wondered what the Kyuubi meant by that, well that and why the fox kept calling him Kit. End flashback. Relax, Ruto. Micha said. Naruto saw his friend was resting against a tree. How come we have to wait here? Can't we wait at this Quai's house? Naruto asked. Naruto had asked Micha about what the Kyuubi has said and asked. Micha said Quai would explain and insisted Naruto remain patient till then. Because Quai has his home under the same spell as the mountain. And only he can allow access. Micha explained. Well what if he's in there and we have to wait days? Naruto asked sitting down next to his friend. Then we wait days, Micha said with a smirk. He knew Naruto had a hard time sitting still. It came from the boundless energy the blonde had, and that back in Konoha, a still Naruto usually ended up a beaten down Naruto. Now Micha-san, there is no need to tease your friend so. You know I've been sitting here watching you meditate since the sun rose above the horizon. Naruto jumped to his feet, a kunai appearing in each hand in a relaxed guard position. Micha chuckled as he rose to his feet and turned. There sitting on a tree branch was an elderly man in bright orange and red robes, a shaven head with fuzzy white eyebrows and a long mustache and goatee. Think Mako with pay my features from K-Bill. Master Quai. Micha said bowing to the man relaxing above him. Quai bowed his head and his dark eyes focusing on Naruto. You return, and brought your friend like you promised. Hi. Master Quai, allow me to present Uzumaki Naruto, formerly of Konohagakure, the Jinchuriki of the Kyuubi no Kitsune, and my brother in all but blood. Micha said continuing to bow. Hi. Naruto said waving to the Shaolin who was still relaxing above them. Nice robes. Micha snorted and looked at his friend. What? They're a good color. Naruto defended himself. Micha shook his head and above them Quai chuckled. Thank you Naruto-san. Your jumpsuit is of fine coloration for you as well. Naruto smiled widely at that. Dude, that so sucks. Your clothes scream, here I am, me now. I swear you two must be color blind. Micha said. An acorn smacked him in the forehead and he glared at the monk who was looking at him with a raised eyebrow. Coming from you, that is a compliment. Quai admonished. Now, I believe we have much to discuss, and as I am an old man, we shall do so over tea. Naruto didn't see him move but the old man was gone. When he looked around he saw him standing before a gate that wasn't there before. Whaat. Where the hell did that come from? How did the old man move so fast? Micha. Mikahamaru sighed. Seems a lot of people do that around Naruto, frequently. Time skipped remember. And I'm sure he'll show you how he moves that quick. Don't fall for his old man performance. He could whip both of us and sip his damn tea while doing it. Hardly Micha-san. Both boys jumped as Quai appeared between them. I would never endanger my tea set while demonstrating your continuing lack of manners. Now this way boys, and remember, while this is my home, it was at one time a temple, so show respect. He vanished again and Naruto looked at his friend who motioned and together they passed through the gates. Konoha. Tsunade looked at the gathered jonin. And the news? She asked. Many people are upset you had the council executed for what they did. Iruka said from where he was working Shizune's desk. Guy, how is your team? Tsunade asked. Mato Guy was not his usual loud self. Recent events had dimmed his passion for the village he called home. Lee is training after his surgery, Tenten is making sure he isn't pushing too hard past your orders. He looked at the Hokage. Neji as you and Lady Shizune know has woken and should be up by the end of the week. Team 9 should be ready in 2-3 weeks for active duty. Guy said in a subdued tone. Tsunade nodded. Asuma? She asked looking at the smoking jonin. Her sensei's son pulled his cigarette out and looked towards Shikamaru and Ino. Choji will be out of action for at least a month, maybe 2. His using all 3 food pills did a number on his body and his father has informed me that any rush and it could kill him. Shikamaru as you know is recovered enough for light duty, and Ino needs more training after recent events. Team 8 is out of action. He concluded. Kurenai? Tsunade asked. Kiba and Akamaru will be down indefinite amount of time. While Kiba will be ready to return to duty in a week, Akamaru I am told by Kiba's mother won't be able to do anything for 2 months minimum. The jonin of Team 10 was frustrated. Shino is ready for active duty after spending time with his clan and rebuilding his hive. She looked at the bug user who nodded silently at his sensei's evaluation. I have not seen Hinata since the revelation about Uzumaki. I know where Hinata is. Tsunade said cutting her off. She is undergoing specialized training with a new jutsu Shizune and I taught her. Kurenai bowed her head, but the worry on her face told the Hokage she would have to reveal recent events with the Hyuga heiress soon. Now I need to Lady Tsunade. Everyone turned to see Kakashi Hatake standing at the back of the room. His one eye looked haggard, his clothes looked like he'd slept in them for several days straight. His hair was hanging low. Yes Hatake. Team 7 is out of commission. The Hokage cut him off. Sasuke should he awaken will be on trial for abandoning the village. He was under a lot of pressure. Surely you can show him lenience. Kakashi said. Tell me Hatake, what of your other students? She demanded. Well, Sakura has been at Sasuke's side, and it's sad about Naruto, but I'm sure he'll land on his feet. The king intent washed over the room and Tsunade glared at the silver-haired jonin. I revise my judgment. Of course. Once Sasuke recovers, Kakashi was saying. Team 7 isn't out of commission. Tsunade said cutting him off. As of right now Team 7 is disbanded. Inform Haruno that she is to report to the academy. She will be working with the 7-year-olds in class 410. But, Lady Tsunade, be reasonable. Kakashi said. Reasonable. You're lucky I don't demote you to Chunin Kakashi. You never taught, you favored the Uchiha. As of right now you are on probation, and you will be reporting to Kenshin at the armory. Guy, Kurenai and Asuma looked at Kakashi sadly. They had warned him in the past that this could happen for his favoritism. But I need to train Sasuke. The council, the copy nin stuttered. The council doesn't exist anymore. Tsunade roared. They had no business in military affairs to begin with. My grandfather and uncle would be sickened at what they have done to this village. Tsunade took a moment to compose herself. Now, as I was saying, I'm going to reshuffle the teams a bit. Kurenai, you will be taking Ino and Shikamaru on your team. Asuma, I'm going to need you to step up and work with some of the patrols. What about Hinata? She's going to be on special assignment for some time. Kurenai. It is vital she isn't disturbed for now. Tsunade said. The truth was she was concerned about the vengeance spirit that was sharing Hinata's body. The scroll had vanished after Hinata had signed it, preventing Tsunade from seeing what could be done about the spirit. Guy, I need you to work with your team when they're up and running. Until then, I'm going to add you to the patrols as well. Tsunade thought a moment. She was about to speak when the door banged open and Shizune raced in. She looked frazzled. Shizune, what is it? Aren't you supposed to be with Hinata? Tsunade asked, seeing her apprentice and friend in such a state. Lady Tsunade, Hinata, Shizune was gasping for breath. Hinata woke up. Well, that was quicker than I thought. The Hokage muttered. Well, that's good news, but... No. Shizune cut her off. She woke up and is going to Kei Sasuke. Tsunade looked up, seeing Kakashi vanish with a shunshin. Damn. The fifth Hokage swore, pulling the same move, leaving a room full of nin with a ton of questions. Konoha Hospital. Sakura had been watching over Sasuke for the last several days. She would check his chart and would take a moist rag and wipe his brow. Damn that Naruto. Look what he did to Sasuke-kun. Sakura thought as she studied her crush. Kakashi had left to go to a meeting, but Sakura didn't care. She only focused on the raven-haired youth before her. She'd been so lost in thought that she didn't hear the door open behind her. Hello Haruno. Sakura spun around at the hollow feminine voice. Her green eyes locked on the pure black eyes of Hinata. Where they would normally be white, they were of the deepest black. A black cloak hung around her body, it moved as if blown by a breeze. Hinta. Sakura asked in surprise. Have you come to see how Sasuke-kun is doing? The cold laugh sent a chill up Sakura's spine. I haven't come to see him, Haruno. I've come to enact vengeance. Sasuke Uchiha's judgment day is at hand. What do you mean? Sasuke hasn't done anything wrong. Sakura said, standing up and putting herself between the coma patient Sasuke and Hinata, who was acting very strange. Leave Hinata. Sakura demanded. Another laugh. Kukukukuku. Isn't this rich? No, this little girl. It doesn't matter if you're a king or a street sweeper, sooner or later you visit the Reaper. Vengeance has been called forth. The black Byakugan eyes turned to the unconscious body of the Uchiha. Sasuke Uchiha, your soul is stained with corruption and sin. Hatred and greed have been your maker, now your end is here. Sakura's eyes widened as Hinata turned her eyes upon her. Hinata's skin looked bone white. She braced herself, unsure of what to make of the once quiet and stuttering girl. Move, child, or you shall share his fate. Sakura saw the gentle fist stance of the Juken, and Sakura was unarmed and between what she could think of as heaven and hell. That will be all for this video. Be sure to like, subscribe, share, and comment down below for more videos. Goodbye.